So, as my regular viewers know, I got my desk, my homemade desk, home a couple weeks ago, and I've been having an issue with it. Wobble. Has a lot of wobble. Now, if I just hold my device still on the table, you can definitely see what I mean. There's a lot. So, what I'm going to do today is fix it. I got these, I want to say 4-inch screws. They look about 4 inches, maybe 3 inches, but either way, what I'll be doing is drilling a hole right through where I have these spacers in, right to the other side. I'm going to take off the desktop by removing these little pegs here, if I can even do that, which will be tough. And then I'm just going to be drilling it straight into the stud. Now it's pretty easy to find these studs on these walls because it's just this cheap paneling, and you can even see the little nails sticking out right there. So I'm just going to drill right into there. Screw the screw in on the stud there, and then on the other side, it doesn't need to be perfect. But just as long as I get this thing flat against the wall, it's not going to be wobbling nearly as much as it was before. So that's what I'm going to be doing right now, and hopefully I won't have to go to extreme measures to complete the task. Well, first of all, it sure as hell is relieving that I can still fold this thing up by myself in about a minute or two. That's definitely something I really like about this design that I came up with. Is it strong though? No. I have to hold this tabletop up and then fold the tabletop down and then swing the legs in, but I mean, like, that's pretty simple. But just the design has its flaws, but I really hope I don't have a tough time getting this out, because otherwise I won't be able to get the drill in there in the first place. So it might be a little bit more difficult than I thought. So as you can see, I ended up getting the tabletop removed with the pegs, but I had to go to a little bit of desperate measures, as you can see. I don't know what the heck I just said. Desperate measures. So, I put a screw into it, and I took it on with a pair of pliers. It came out, luckily, but it's just kind of ugly with that hole. But I don't really care, because guess what? Look, there's already another ugly hole right there. I won't be spotting with my eye on the basis, so I don't really care. But, I'm very happy, because both of the screws went in there perfectly fine, into the stud. My light switch is having a little bit of a tough time getting clearance there, which is pretty funny. But yeah, it still does work. I'm just going to have to work it, and eventually it'll just kind of like file the wood down itself. And then over on the other side, I was not expecting it to hit a stud. But if you look at this nail down over here, you will realize that there is another stud there. So I got lucky, and it's extra strong. And using full force, I'm moving this back and forth, it's barely budging. Like, it's only the flexibility of the wood. And I was really impressed that only 2 screws would get all this done. And I'm just like, it's such a solid piece now. So I got those little pieces of dowel back in there. And check this out. Those 2 screws are literally so strong that it can support the whole weight of this entire thing. Look. There's no support. No support like before. See, the way it was before, legs stick out. Dowel comes from the top to the bottom to give it that support on the top. Even just 2 screws, it's sturdy enough I could literally use the desk with no dowel and just have all that clearance. And this is the original idea I had in mind, but I didn't want to have it mounted to the wall, but I ended up having to do that anyway, and it actually worked out, to my amazement, which is pretty neat. But I'm still going to use those folding out legs with the pieces of dowel, just because the way it is right now, it's a little bit bouncy. I don't know if you can tell, but it bounces up and down like a couple millimeters. I don't really like that. And plus it stresses out that backing a little bit, but still, hella impressive how much strength you can get with just 2 screws. Blew my mind. So, like I mentioned in last week's update video, I sent a package to Jason. Well, guess what? It arrived couple days ago, and the unboxing video went up yesterday. And while I was at school yesterday, I got an extra 10 subscribers from this video. Now, you can watch the video for yourself, and I'm pretty sure most of my subscribers are subscribed to Dark Ecliptic Art. But anyway, it would still be worth checking out. Sent in the Body, which I hope will be finished and arrived back here in about a month. But there's really, you have to set the expectations really low for Jason. But being that I actually gave him money to send it back, I don't think he should have an excuse not to send it back. Like the only thing would be that he would be busy, but even still, I can't really be mad at him. Here you go, see, it's got the body. But anyway, I'm just going to show you right now some updates to the design I've made for my Sidewinder 3 ESC cage. So my electronics teacher did another print of the exact same design I had last time. I didn't really want it at all, but I decided to fiddle around with it. So what I did was I made 2 cuts along here and here, so that way the sides can fold out a little bit and then this can move back and forth. So that way, just to test out, I could see that maybe I could get the ESC to actually fit in here unlike last time. And guess what? It did. So here's a comparison in between the 2 3D printed and the mold. Now, thing is, the main reason I wanted to design a 3D printed one was so you could have mounting points to mount it on Ultrax's 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive systems that are 1/10 scale. Now, it's worked out pretty good. I'm not using it for my Mini Revo, but I'm thinking of using another design that I'm going to have printed out pretty soon. But you can see that the designs are very similar. I try to copy them down pretty much exactly. So, I'm going to show you how it fits on the ESC now with those just 2 little cuts on the side. That's it. So as you can see, with the cuts on the back of the case, I can actually get the ESC in there. Now there's one thing I have changed with the design since I've put this together, and it's that this part I'm going to have it a little bit further up so that it hides the capacitors a little bit better, so it's pretty. But as you can see, everything else on the bottom looks pretty great. And the sides on the front are lined up pretty good too. Now it is a little bit loose on the bottom. There's like a tiny bit of space there, but I don't really care because you have to get there. You have to get the ESC inside the cage somehow, so I was able to do that. And yeah, I'm heading towards pretty much the final design of this cage. And once I have the final design, I'm going to send 1 to Jason. I'll actually probably 2 to Jason because I know he has a Sidewinder on the HPI vehicle. I think it's an HPI. No, it isn't. It's a Team Associated B4.2 buggy or something like that. And then this Creature, which has the Sidewinder too. But at least I'll send him 1 and RC Bros 2001, and I know my friend on Skype, he wants me to send him 1 as well. And maybe even I'll sell this product on eBay for the rest of my fans to get it, because it is a pretty good design, and I really like how it is in general. And of course, most of them will be produced in black, because red just doesn't really fit. It doesn't fit. But that was just a test print with what my teacher had. And yeah, that's how the Sidewinder cage is going. And that's it for this update video. I will talk to you next week.